We need to keep a close eye on this relationship because I really didn't understand how deep it went. So Korey Booker is an upper middle class kid that went to Ivy League schools. In 1992, while studying at Oxford University, a Jewish student invites him to a holiday celebration at the local Chabad house. He builds some good relationships and then does a deep dive into the Jewish faith and gets in deep with the Chabad-affiliated student group. He was co-president despite not being Jewish. This then led him into politics. He became very close with a rabbi who then introduced him to wealthy Jewish donors in Newark. And those donors would later carry him into the mayor's office, unseating Sharp James, who was kind of a mob boss of a mayor who had been there for 20 years and was anti-Semitic. And then when he got in, he started going to work for the interests of these donors, even supporting school choice and charter schools so that Jewish schools could get public tax dollars. It was during Booker's time in Newark, New Jersey with those wealthy Jewish donors that he developed a relationship with Jared Kushner and later his father, Charles. But Charles was sent to federal prison in 2005 for tax evasion, illegal campaign contributions, and witness tampering. This really tarnished his reputation with the local real estate market, and so he needed to do something to reform his reputation. And so what he says is that his time in prison changed him, and now he wants to advocate for prison reform. It was the perfect redemption story to get him back in people's good graces. And he takes this further, and in 2018, his two buddies, Donald Trump and Korey Booker, help him pass criminal justice reform. And there were some really good things in there, but it was honestly mostly stuff that most states had already done. But more importantly, it gave Charles cover for his next request, a presidential pardon, which he would get from Trump in December of 2020, citing his prison reform efforts. And then famously in 2025, Booker gave him the only Democratic vote, the vote to put him over the top and become the ambassador to France. Booker maintains his friendship with the Kushners to this day, and when they need him, he's there. And as soon as Booker decided to run for Congress, they made sure that AIPAC was there to guide his way. I don't know about you, but it seems to me that Korey Booker may have been groomed from the very beginning. Now, I never want to conflate the interests of the state of Israel with that of Jewish people. But I can't describe this situation any other way. There were, in fact, very wealthy Jewish circles doing this kind of thing. But of course, most Jewish people are not this way. Couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, when I was working for a member of Congress during all of those pro-Palestinian protests under Biden, the vast majority of the protests that we dealt with were led by Jewish people. One time, 15 Jewish people came in the office and read every single Palestinian name that had been killed to that point. It took all day. Jewish people in general are amazing, but this kind of situation is still something we need to talk about. Just like many of my Italian ancestors were doing some crazy corrupt things, still are. Korey Booker and Jared Kushner are like the worst kinds of stepbrothers.